supportive, and my children are all, you know, they're basically biggest fans, you know. My father, even though we had our differences, so we had a very interesting journey, me and my father, because at one point, actually, we weren't even on speaking terms, you know, because he really wanted me to take a certain path, you know, education-wise first and then music. And I was hell-bent that I do music. You know? So we didn't knock heads for a little while, but eventually, no, he was like the biggest supporter, you know. So.
All right. Good. And I'm glad you brought that up. I wasn't going to bring it up. So, so now that you brought it up, I hope you don't mind me going back to that. I know back then the relationship wasn't good, but now you guys are like tighter than.
Yeah.
So tell me about that relationship, because I know when Daddy said, "This is it. You're going to school. I'm paying my money for you to go to school. So you need to go take in your education and stop telling me crap about this music. This music is not going anywhere. And once you live under my house, under my roof, this is what you will be doing." So talk to me.
You already did there. Yeah, I mean, all right. So the journey with me and my father is interesting because, as I said, I was born in England while he and my mom were studying. So it showed that I was born into a education-seeking couple, you know what I mean? At this point, I think, what you gonna know? Mom of her master's or her MBA, she's have her law degree. Pops having PhD and MBA, and they all have moved on and just did great in terms of.
But you come and say you want drop out and you
right.
want.
So they told me. I remember specifically when I was around 14, and my father got his third master's, and he said to me, say, like, when you see here, I'm showing me the paper, and he said, I must have 3 masters, and he said, I expect from you, and I'm like, what? He said 5 doctorate, and I'm like, okay. Okay. In my mind, I'm like, yo, I just do the more I'm going to really want to hear about no doctorate, So from that time, there was obviously a breaking because I think he would have, expected a lot from me in terms of, getting up academia, in terms of academia. And I wasn't.
So that means you're supposed to get enough lit then, man.
No, well, I mean, which boy picnic grow up in Jamaica will never get a liquor too? If you never get something, that means they grow up stush. That means they grow up in a, you know what I mean? But it's not even that. It wasn't even like an intimidation like that. It was just more like you have a lot of expectation on you,
Yeah.
And I was very clear. I was like, yo, listen to me. Can they even tell me go flight school, Them send me.
Wait. Don't even tell me about that first. People. If you're not following me right now, please hit the follow button and follow AntoinetteChase.k. Did you just say that they send you to flight school? So you're supposed to become a pilot at some point?
Yeah, man, I'm sending me go ground school in at Tinsupen, I think the year after CXC. When them said, I'm not really go to the CXC and have music. I think they were just trying to find anything other than music. So them send me go that. And I remember clearly it was like a 3-week course. And you fly the plane and you learn all about the plane and so forth. And the last day was like an outing, so you must go, they might carry everybody go to Norman Manley and Butch Stewart, Jet out there, rest in peace, Butch Stewart, and condolences to the family. And Butch Stewart, Jet was out there and they would allow you to, take a look at the jet and inside and so forth. And when my mom picked me up, she was like, so, did you get to see the jet? And I'm like, yeah, I saw the jet. And she says, so how was it? I said, it was all right. And she's like, yo, I mean, it's just all right. You get to go in a jet. And she said, mother, stop her. I'm a youth, I'm like 15 or 16. And she said, mother, stop her. I said, mommy, I know what you and daddy trying to do, and it's not gonna work. And she said, what do you mean what I tried? And she said, I look on her face and said, you and daddy trying to distract me from my music, and it is not going to work. So just forget about it. And she said that was a moment when she knows that, all right, my son know exactly what he wants to do. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't like a child talking to her anymore. It was also like a young man saying, this is what I'm doing, right? And it's if you make up your mind with that level of conviction.
Yeah, nobody can stop.
Yeah, it's like unstoppable. So that did go on, and then, you know, me and my pops did fall out more and more and more, and then it reached a point where it's just like, yo, enough is enough, you know. So it basically tell me to leave the house. And basically Alex's father took me in. Took in. Alex told you.
Yeah, he said that on live a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, man. So Alex's father took me in and took in Flex as well. And what's interesting is at that time I wasn't DJing, you know. At that point I never even thought I would be a DJ. That time I was just singing harmony within the group. I was just singing the bass notes like the Boyz II Men songs. But it's while I was down by Mr. McCullough, by Alistair, because this time now I'm gonna get kicked from Exit. So this was it now. Like this is when my father was just like, no, by the time I get kicked from Exit, now I'm saying, oh no, that's it. So me moved down there and then started Portmore Community College, which is nearby where Alex lived, because all of we come from Portmore. And it was actually one day I walk come home from Portmore Community College and a DJ, like I just make up something and DJ, but I don't see myself as a DJ, so I say, and me I do the group thing, so I say, alright, you know what? Buccaneer come from where I come from. Buccaneer come from Bridgeport. And Buccaneer was a big artist by then, we used to try bust up. I say, alright, I'm gonna sell this to Buccaneer. So I pull up a flex and say, yo, listen to this flex. I'm a DJ the song, and when I'm done, I say, yo, I'm gonna sell this to Buccaneer. And he say, sell this to Buccaneer? I say, yeah. I say, you for DJ that dog? I'm gonna say, me? And he say, yeah. And that was a moment when I really realized that I could DJ. I know I could DJ, like DJ other people's songs, but I never really see myself as a DJ. And it's there, so now we start to influence and integrate the dance. Me now gonna be. I mean, if I'm a DJ, I have to use my bass voice and DJ. So I just basically mix the bass voice with the DJing, and I was very influenced by like Bounty Kid and Shabarangs and Buju. So it's that tone mixed with the bass voice, and we just create a new sound, and yeah, the rest is history with the group, you know what I mean? It was a journey, because Pops and me now is like good, you know what I mean? Good, you know. But we didn't have to go through that, and as a youth, I didn't have to go through that, you know, saying sink or swim, fly or fall, you know what I mean?
I like that. And so at that point, you know, so you pretty much know that you definitely wanted to go into music. You also find out what you sound like.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you pretty much invest in yourself from then. And that's where the group started with three of you.
4 of us. No, the group was there before, you know. We were just doing R&B's kind of sing-overs, but it was always, actually it was 5 of us, and one of the members left. There was another 5th member who also left, but the 4 of us were always a core. So we really started the group from a long time, you know. Started the group from around, I want to say 92. So that's what, almost 30 years. Next year we'll make 30 years. And we didn't really release our first song until 96. And that time, it was like 96, and then 97 we went around to Main Street, and we started linking up with Mr. G, Goofy, Red Rat, Shams, of course, all of the family around there, Hawkeye, Chief, everybody, Danny Brownie, and then we started to put out more records there. I think that's where it became home for us, you know. And it was also a good chemistry reaction.
Well, again, congratulations on your success and the fact that you started off at such a young age, 15, you stand up and you say, all right, this is what I want and this is what I'm going for. With or without support system.
14, first performance, 14 years old.
Which song was that? Do you remember?
Yeah, it's a song by Shy, a song called If I Ever Fall in Love. It was the 5 of us, and we did it to enter a competition for Warner Brothers. They had come to Jamaica and they wanted to form a Jamaican boy band. So they asked different groups and different singers to audition. Young Richie Spice was there, so Richie Spice was selected. Craig from our group was selected, and a few others were selected, and they were trying to put together a group. But in the midst of it all, TOK just started to rise on our own. We started to have a following. Every high school we're going to perform. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know when I met you guys, you were downtown singing in front, right at parade, right there.
Oh, that was at Christmas.
On Christmas, yes, that's where I saw 4 of you Natty Head boys singing.
Yeah.
That's where. And I used to Alex spoke about you guys jumping over fence from time to time, booming fence just to go.
Yeah, man. I have a scar here. I don't know if you can see, but I have a scar here from when I jumped over the fence. The fire shot off of me when Silk came to Jamaica. Another big group in the 90s. So you got Boys II Men as a big group, Shy, and then Silk was like a close third. And they came to Jamaica for an event, and we wanted to get there. We got some tickets, but the tickets weren't going to that. Tickets was a discount, and you still had to pay like, whatever money that we never had. And we said, yo, we'll have to meet Silk, we'll have to sing for them. So we jumped the fence. And man, fire some shot off, and we have to jump back over the fence. So when I reach over the fence at the top of the barbed wire, I'm hearing this next shot fire, and I just pull my hand, the barbed wire, and bust the hole in my finger. Right? Yeah, man. That is the struggle. That's one of the struggles to the success. But eventually we got in that same night, and we decided, so we now ease up. So I think when the party wrap up, they let us in. And we sang for the group. We sang for them. You know? Yeah, man, them time there is like no is not an option. Accepting no is not an option. You have to find a way to make it work. One way or another.
Yeah. And then in your case, you would have to, because you're big and bold now and tell your parents that, you know what, I don't need you anymore. I'm a big man now. I'm gonna go out there and get what I want. Pretty much. So failing was never an option for you.
Right, exactly. You see, the thing is also I come from a place named Hellshire, so that also helped to build my character, because where we come from in the Hellshire Heights is like all of my friends them over there, so all of we are star one way or the other. We have a swag in ourselves. And yeah. It's like, for me, so I'm going to be an artist and step up. I have that swag with me as well. And we have people from Hellshire support as well, and Portmore and Bridgeport. So it was like Cactus was a stamping ground. Cactus was a place and was a club of choice then, and we was a group that always kill it every Friday night. Jerry D was the vibes master, was the man who in charge of entertainment. And every Friday would have bring me out and start bringing the dance out now. So, a young Wayne the one that might have run the place, would draw the Wayne the one then on segment, or Baby Sham, me DJ or Baby Sham or whatever. And it just create this thing, So, yeah, we did have to be successful, and we're also learning how to find a niche for ourselves in the process, That was a beauty of it.
And that's the difficult part too, when you have to find a niche. Because some persons, you want to achieve some things and you don't know how to go about getting it. And the good thing about that, separate and apart from the fact that you don't have your immediate support system, you have a bunch of persons in your circle who wanted the same thing with you.
Right.
So they pretty much push you. Right. So it's important to have that kind of, support then.
Yeah, man. It's like an army, you know. It's like you have a mission. It's like the four we get up every day and we have a mission what we want to achieve for this brand, and we work at it, and everybody pitching ideas and everybody. So it's a collective, you know. The whole point of the rules of synergy, where you say 1 + 1 = 3, you know. When you
Yeah.
work together like that, it's not one and one is not two, but by joining forces, you create a third strength. You know what I mean? A union strength. So we have the four, it's almost like 10 power. Same thing like when you see up on stage. I've performed before or after the biggest and baddest of artists, and when the four we run out, that's an undeniable energy that you can't find with one artist. You know what I mean? Because it's a collective. And everybody go, everybody are run, or everybody, you know, the crowd feel that energy, you know, and that was one of the things that kept the momentum going in the early days. We had this collective vision.
So now that you don't have those links and that connection with the group, how is it now performing on your own? I know a lot of you guys don't talk about the breakup,
Right.
And stuff. So how was that for you? I know you're doing great as an individual artist right now, as a solo artist, not taking away from that. But you can't tell me that relationship, it didn't affect you at all.
No, well, all right. So here's the thing about it. I don't have to talk about.
That's right.
Eh?
Ja Vibe said 4 times the energy.
Right, 4 times the energy. But I think maybe because I was a only child growing up, there's a part of me that is totally fine in my own space. You know what I mean?
In other words, you're spoiled.
No. Maybe if I didn't grow up with my mother alone, I would have been spoiled. But my father never allowed us spoiling for what I thought. You know what I mean? So it was a situation where, even though there are times when we link up back for a concert. We do concerts every now and again. And you cannot deny the energy when the four we link up. You know what I mean? You can't deny that. For me, it's like a reunion with my brother. Them, it's like a family reunion. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you have such history, you have such memories, and you know what I mean, this connection. We can finish each other's sentences at one point. So we're connected like that. But at the same time, if you're on a stage and you have to share the stage with 3 other people all of your career, you don't really know how to be your own artist. You know what I mean? It's like once you're a part of a group, it's very hard for you to learn how to work this big stage by yourself, to learn how to build a catalog and start a show and finish the show with your energy, how to pace yourself. Like when you see Capleton and Sizzler and Ellie, or them can rock a show for an hour as a solo artist. Now you have that responsibility to do it as yourself. Now. It's not like you can lean on it and we'll make Alex run out and we'll go drink some water and then come back with my part. And it's not so. You have to be the captain of the ship from the beginning to the end. You have to bring that energies, and that is what I like because it's a new challenge for me now. It's a new chapter, it's a new dimension, and the thing is, I think also for me, to be very, very honest with you, from the Cactus days when we were building out our style and we start DJ, almost every day somebody come to me and say, yo, youth, you know, say you can go run the place as a DJ, you know, say enough for being in a group. I used to always shy away from that compliment comments. I don't make it get to my ego. I don't like accepting that I feel like I betray my friend. And so I used to always just clutch it and say, I give thanks, I just ignore it. Now, when I step out now as a solo artist,